Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. One of the more interesting leaks that I can recall has surfaced for Call of Duty. We've seen a lot of leaks and rumors so far regarding Call of Duty 2025, which according to all the leaks and rumors is said to be Black Ops 7, a direct sequel to this year's Black Ops 6, also developed by Treyarch. And as we've talked about in recent videos, actually, there are some concerns with that. There's certainly some red flags here and there. I'm sure we'll continue to talk about various things with it as we continue to learn more over the coming weeks and months. But early this morning, really overnight, some new leaks surfaced with a major mechanic that's been rumored for Black Ops 7. However, the mechanic already seems to be active, at least for players who can mess around with the game files and activate certain things, and it's actually usable in Black Ops 6. This is really the COD HQ to blame. This isn't necessarily a new concept either. We, of course, had Warzone Mobile in the past few years leaking an absurd amount of stuff for Black Ops 6, for Modern Warfare 3 even. So like COD HQ and all this stuff being, tied together, everything being cross progression and connected. It might be seamless from like a development standpoint where they can easily change things, but it also causes like an absurd amount of leaks. Anyways, up until this point, as mentioned, we've heard a lot about Call of Duty 2025, Black Ops 7. Charlie Intel sums it up this morning saying, the current rumors and leaks for COD 2025 so far, the campaign's supposed to be set in 2035 as some kind of sequel to Black Ops 2. In multiplayer, one of the big leaks that we've talked about for some time now is that reportedly it's going to be a mixture of Omnimovement with a new addition of wall running. It just so happens that this is what's leaked as of this morning with some new gameplay, believe it or not. We'll get to that in just a moment. They also mention it's going to include Black Ops 2 maps being remastered in sort of a futuristic theme, but the game will also have some new maps. Then in Zombies, there'll be some round-based content, potential transit type map at launch as well. But we've talked about it a couple of times here on the channel in the past that one of the main leaks, one of the main rumors for Black Ops 7 is that wall running is going to be a feature in the game. And that's already got a lot of players pretty concerned, raising some questions. What do you mean wall running? Obviously, this is not really something we've had since the jetpack era of Call of Duty. Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, and really, that was a completely different style of COD, if you want to call it Call of Duty. Personally, I really enjoyed Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 3, also pretty solid. Infinite Warfare, man, we don't got to talk about that one, right? But very different gameplay. Obviously not boots on the ground, and when boots on the ground made a return, that's when people were like, okay, yeah, this is Call of Duty. This is more what we're used to, right? Obviously, Modern Warfare 2019, massively successful. Boots on the ground Call of Duty. We haven't had anything beyond that in the years following. Even before that, obviously, like Black Ops 4, boots on the ground. World War II, boots on the ground. With this, though, the gameplay that we're going to show here is different. It kind of just feels like, or looks like rather, it's Call of Duty, but with parkour, I guess is a way to describe it. So this surfaced overnight. A bunch of people have been posting videos, TikToks, gameplay of this game file being updated apparently recently. And it's got data miners really confused as to whether or not this string is in there by accident. And there's a reason you can activate it. Like what's going on with that? Because that's not usually the case. Whether or not it's for an LTM potentially coming, which certainly could be possible. As always with leaks and rumors, you never really know until Call of Duty makes it official. This obviously just lines up a ton with what we've heard about Black Ops 7, but data miners have discovered that wall running ability with Omnimovement exists in Black Ops 6 files. Wall running is rumored to be a part of this year's Call of Duty game as a part of the next step of Omnimovement. We get this quick little 30-second clip. This takes place on a multiplayer map, and you can see this is just kind of like parkour. Like you're not jumping super high up on a wall, but it also does kind of look like you're floating around a little bit, right? You are clearly running on the side of the wall. I'd love to get a look at what this actually looks like visually from somebody else's point of view, right? How a character looks like when they're running on this, because from the first person, it kind of just looks like you're floating next to the wall. You're kind of just gliding across it. Obviously, the camera is tilting a little bit as they're doing it, but it's very clearly a wall running feature. And why you can activate this in some kind of Black Ops 6 environment or even on Verdansk that we'll see here in just a moment, not too sure. Like I said, it's kind of a very weird scenario when it comes to leaks, but this does kind of give us a supposed look, really, a leaked look at what wall running could be like in Black Ops 7. Again, this is just a leak. This is clearly a different product from Black Ops 7, since it's not the game itself, of course. I know, groundbreaking news. This is Black Ops 6. but it's an interesting POV nonetheless. So to go along with the Charlie Intel tweet, we also got this new post from Dexterdo saying Black Ops 6 leak uncovers wall running and it could return in COD 2025. Data miners have discovered wall running in Black Ops 6 and Warzone, adding fuel to the previous leak suggesting the feature could return to the next Black Ops game. Hence why we're all sitting here going, did they just leak the Black Ops 7 movement? Again, maybe this is for something in Black Ops 6, an upcoming LTM or some kind of added perk or boost that you get with a power-up. We're gonna have to wait and see. Time will tell. This is sort of the situation that we have with leaks, of course. But with this, we got the first tweet that we just saw from Peter here, the clips there on satellite, whatever that map's called, right? We also got this one on Verdansk as well. I'm gonna mute the audio because it's just blasting music, but we do see it on Verdansk here as well, which is, again, interesting. And I have a feeling that this is possible because it's just in the Black Ops 6 and the Warzone files as it stands. There is a note here that I do want to bring up that I think is important to, just have the information and have the idea going forward with this. Obviously, Black Ops 6 and Warzone, they're connected in a bunch of ways, right? You have all the crossover, the cross progression, the weapons, everything like that. With the return of Verdansk, however, obviously, we got a major switch up in COD for the first time in some time where the movement in Warzone is now different from the movement in multiplayer. You have full Omni movement there in multiplayer as it was created as it's intended, right? They did, however, switch things up in Warzone where the movement's a little bit slower. They adjusted things with the return of Verdansk and really tried to differentiate the two and make the movement in Warzone more similar to that of Warzone 1 rather than one-to-one with Black Ops 6. So I do think it's interesting that while yes, this is present in Black Ops 6 right now because of the game files, and it's also present in Warzone right now because of the game files, movement and those mechanics going forward within Warzone, I think have the chance to continue to stay separated or differentiated to a certain extent. I think now they are very clearly in the way of we want Warzone to be like Warzone 1. We're trying to recreate that because that's where we found the most success. So with this, you look at this and you're like, oh, okay, this could be cool in some scenarios, but obviously this is going to be a controversial change no matter what. Wall running in this movement, I'm sure plenty of you have already typed out your comments down below saying, oh, this is terrible, or oh, this looks awesome, because that's the COD community, right? So it's going to be controversial and not everyone's going to love it, but also not everyone's going to hate it. If there's a general consensus though that like, okay, in multiplayer, yeah, it's whatever. Warzone though, wall running doesn't necessarily have a spot. This doesn't feel natural on Verdansk. It feels like it's more so the jetpack era, whatever, right? Would not be surprised if they do make the decision of, oh, this is a movement mechanic, this is a feature of Omni movement present in multiplayer, present in zombies. Warzone though, the gameplay, the movement is still going to be more generic. It's going to be more grounded like in Warzone 1. I feel like that's probably the way they go with this, unless, you know, this game drops, Black Ops 7 drops, and it's a resounding, oh, the movement's never felt better. This is by far, you know, one of the best changes they've done. A situation like that, which could happen, you never know, but that's just how I'm sort of viewing it based on the changes, based on their tone so far this year. But yeah, this was an interesting situation for sure. Was not expecting to see full-on features potentially leaking out because the COD HQ and just simple game files being added in with a random title update, and then data miners actually figuring out a way to use this stuff in game. But nonetheless, gonna wrap things up for this one. Obviously, as we continue to learn more about COD 2025, any future updates going on there or anything going on with Warzone and Black Ops 6 now, this is the place to be to stay up to date with all of it on a daily basis. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if you enjoyed this video, a like rating on your way out would be seriously appreciated. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.